Ah, so ribs. That's what we're smoking today. So here I have something called aso sauce. It is a Chinese style barbecue sauce for pork, chicken, and spare ribs. So I was doing some research and I found out that I guess this isn't available in the whole country. This is more of a New England Northeast area sauce. And it's made in New Jersey, so that makes sense why it might be only on the Northeast or in the New England area. I had no idea because I've always seen this stuff around the stores here. And then I got to thinking when I saw it, it would be a great idea to try this sauce on some smoked ribs. Now, if you've ever had that American style Chinese food, you've seen those barbecue spare ribs that are really nice and red. That's basically what this is here. But instead of doing spare ribs, I'm gonna do a rack of baby back ribs. And what I did last night was I took these, slathered them with this sauce, got a good amount on there. Then I stuck it in this vacuum bag, got it sealed up, and I let this marinate overnight in that aso sauce. So what I'm trying to achieve by marinating these in this aso sauce, I want to get a really nice reddish pink color on these pork ribs. I think that would be fantastic. Now before I go and throw these on the smoker, I do want to put a nice rub on there. So I have to be careful what I put in the rub because we already have some ingredients in this aso sauce. For ingredients in here, we got corn syrup, salt, miso, which is rice, soybeans, sea salt. Then there's spices in here as well. Doesn't say what spices. I'm assuming there's probably some garlic in here. So I know that there's garlic in here and there's also a little bit of salt. So I want to be a little more light on those seasonings when I make my rub. But enough talking about this. Let's make this rub and then we'll get these out and get them seasoned so we can get them out on the smoker. So for this rub, I want to start off with just a little bit of salt. Like I said, there's already some salt in that sauce. We don't want too much. A nice little pinch here. Now I want to go in with a little bit of garlic powder. And again, I believe there's garlic in there, so I don't want to go too heavy. But I do want some nice garlic flavor. Now I want to go in with some ground ginger. You know you need ginger when you're cooking with Asian style food. Now last, little Chinese style 5 spice. This has amazing seasonings in here. It goes great with any style Asian food. I want a good amount of that. And that should be it. We'll get the cap on. This a nice little shake. Should be just enough to get these seasoned. Now I don't want to go too heavy on the rub because we do have that sauce on there. But this is ready. Let's get our ribs. All right, you can already see these ribs have amazing color already. This nice reddish hue. These are going to be some delicious ribs. So what I want to do, I'm just going to try and wipe off a little bit of this excess sauce. Don't want all this on here. That's why I marinated it. Not too much left on here. That should be good. Put a little bit of that rub we just made on here. You don't want to go too heavy. It's going to have plenty of flavor. I am excited about these ribs. These should be pretty good. The color on here is ridiculous. Can't wait to see what they look like when they're done. All right, that should be good. Let's get the other side. Now my only concern with these ribs would be the smoke flavor, just because we have that sauce on there plus this rub. I just hope we can get some penetration with that smoke flavor. But these should come out pretty good. I just hope that sauce had time to penetrate the meat. Give us a nice color. Pat this in a little bit. Seasoning's gonna dissolve pretty quick because we got that sauce on there. But there we go. There's our ribs. Check those out. These are ready for the smoker. Let's get them out and get them on. All right, so I got the pit running around 275. I got the New England mix using oak and maple. Let's get these ribs right on here. Just like that. All right, just gonna let these things cook. All right, so these aso ribs are on the smoker. I'm gonna run this thing around 275 degrees. Probably go between 250, 300 is probably where this thing's gonna run most of the time. If I think they're cooking a little too hot, I might bump it down. Just gonna have to keep an eye on that sauce because there is a lot of sugar in there. I don't want it to burn. Like I said out there, I'm running my New England mix, which is maple and oak. Great combo for smoking up here in New England. I love the flavors they give out, and the wood burns fantastic. So I'm really excited to try this aso sauce on some ribs. And like I said, the only thing I'm really worried about is this getting burned. So I'm gonna let these things cook for a while. Then I'm gonna pull them off and wrap them up with some lard, let them get nice and tender. Then when they're done, I'm gonna unwrap them, put them back on the smoker, and I'm gonna sauce them with more of this aso sauce to get a nice glaze on them. Then they will be ready to try. So I'll see you guys out at the smoker when these are ready to pull off and get them wrapped. All right, just hit the 2-hour mark on these ribs. Let's check them out. Looking pretty good so far. Starting to get a nice bark on there. Color's nice and red. Looking good. Just gonna probe them a little bit. Getting pretty tender. Definitely need some more time though. All right, so for temp, we're at about 179. Now they're starting to look a little dry, so I want to just give them a spritz. What I have here is soy sauce and rice vinegar for a spritz. Just gonna spritz this whole thing down. All right, so I'm probably gonna spritz every half an hour or so till these are ready to wrap. So I'll see you then. Our number tray on these aso ribs. Ooh, check these things out. Man, these things smell great. They're looking good. I think we're about ready to wrap. See, it's getting a nice color on there. That's what we have to watch out for with all that sugar in there. But this isn't bad at all. Let's check for tenderness. Oh yeah, we're pretty good. These are ready to wrap. For temp, we're at 192. All right, let's get these off and get them wrapped. For these ribs, I'm using butcher paper. All right, let me get those ribs. Check these things out. They look pretty good. Check the underside. You can see it's still got that red color. They smell like the spare ribs you'd get at a Chinese restaurant. So I think these are gonna be pretty good. The only thing I was worried about, like I said, was it getting a little burnt. And you can see it's kind of dark here on the end. That's because there's so much sugar in that aso sauce, but it's not too bad. I think we'll be fine. So I'm gonna go ahead, get these ready to wrap. Here I have a little bit of lard. Just gonna throw that down, just like that. Now I'm gonna lay the ribs on top, then more lard. Now I also wanna take some of that spritz I made earlier, soy sauce and rice vinegar, to spray this, get it nice and moist. I think this will add some good flavor. And the vinegar is gonna help get it nice and tender. Now just wrap it up. Now I'm getting this back on the smoker. Probably gonna let it go an hour or two longer till it gets nice and tender. Then we're gonna unwrap it, sauce it, back on the smoker to get that sauce set, and we'll be ready to eat. So I'll see you back here when these are ready to unwrap and sauce. All right, these ribs have been on for another hour and a half, all wrapped up. Let's see how these things look. Ooh, yeah. They smell great. Check those out. They're looking good. You can see you got some pull away from the bone here. Exactly what we want. Let me just probe this. Oh yeah, nice and tender. All right, for temp, we're at about 195. So these are ready to get glazed. So I'm gonna glaze this backside first. Got some of this delicious aso sauce. Put a beautiful layer on. All right, flip these over. Now just sauce this top side. Super excited to try these. Should be delicious. All right, these look fantastic. These are going in for another half an hour to let the sauce set. Then I'm gonna pull them off and give them a try. All right, these ribs are done. They smell amazing and they look fantastic. So I let them go on the smoker for another half an hour, let that sauce set real nice. Then I pulled them off, let them rest for 15 minutes, and here we are. Now I'm dying to give these a try, so let's slice them up. All right, check out these ribs. The color on these things is amazing. Got a nice, deep, rich red color. They smell fantastic, but I wanna give these a try. So I'm gonna slice them up. So when I usually slice ribs, I like to flip them over, but the problem is I don't wanna lose any of this sauce. So I'm gonna do my best to slice these up without flipping them over. And I hit a bone right off the bat. Son of a bitch. All right. There we go. On the struggle bus today. All right, now we're getting somewhere. All right, there we go. A little bit of struggle, but not too bad. Now, check these out. Give that a look. See the beautiful red color we got on here? This is from that marinade and that aso sauce. That's not just a smoke ring. We also got beautiful red color penetrating the meat. These look fantastic. I can smell them. They're really giving off that Chinese spare rib vibe. So I gotta go ahead and give this a try. So good. I need some white rice. This is such a perfect rib. And check out the bite. Perfect tenderness on this thing. Oh my God, these are amazing. So good. All right, I am amazed at how good these ribs are. They taste just like the spare ribs you get at the Chinese restaurants. It's so good, but it's a baby back rib, so it's super tender. And there's something about having it on the bone that just makes it special. This is fantastic, and I'm definitely gonna be doing these again. So good. Can't believe how much this tastes like the actual Chinese spare ribs. It is on point. If you can get your hands on some of that Aso sauce, definitely give this a try. I think the marinade did help. Helped a lot with the color for sure. And make sure you add a nice rub. That Chinese 5 spice is key. Definitely needed the salt because this sauce isn't too salty. It's very sweet though. All in all, this was definitely a success and I will be doing this again. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a like. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, make sure to subscribe right over here. And if you want to watch another awesome barbecue video by me, check this out over here. You won't regret it. But most importantly, guys, get out there, smoke something good.